am baby girl. Go ahead and subscribe. Today I am going to be giving y'all basically my tea on how I secured my dream apartment, which is basically where I am at now, okay? And when I say I've been living here for about 2, almost 3 years at this point, and I have 0 complaints, just because I took all of these steps and like I literally did all of these things to get this apartment and make sure it was right for me. Like, it was a complete science project for me. I was very much dedicated when it came to figuring out if this apartment was for me or not, okay? I didn't just stop at liking it. I did not just stop at thinking it was nice and, oh, I want to live there. No, I took it so serious, y'all, that I inspected everything when it came to the apartment. So I'm going to go ahead and just share what I did because I'm very happy with my decision. Like, I've been at this apartment for almost 3 years at this point. I'm gonna just share the tea, okay? People come to me asking me for tips on just finding the right apartment or good apartments, period. And when I say I consider every little aspect of it, because when I first moved out, I wasn't thinking none of that. I was like, oh, I got a room, I got a kitchen, I got my own space. I want it. No. My second apartment, I definitely made sure I had every aspect that I dreamed of and wanted. So, first off, when it came to this apartment, I was gonna do like a step-by-step, like trying to talk about y'all situation, but the best thing for me to do is just talk about my own personal situation. Not really a story time, but it's basically stories of many different days that I did all these crazy things to get this apartment. Yeah, and I'm trying to put nails on right now, so I'm like, why not just record and tell y'all how crazy I was, okay? Because I get crazy when it comes to apartments. I get serious, let's say that. But as y'all know, I looked for this apartment during the pandemic times, okay? It was during pandemic times. And when it first came to deciding if this was the right apartment, first off, y'all already know that I tour a lot of apartments, and half the time I'm touring them for you guys, okay? I'm not usually touring them for myself. I'm usually touring them for you guys. So I had toured this apartment a while back on my channel, like before I decided to live here. I had toured it. And I just always kept in mind, like, this apartment was like so homey to me. Like, it just felt like a place that I would want to live. Like, it just felt homey. It was it for me, you know? So if you feel like an apartment, if you ever get that feeling, I know sometimes you do. You may see a lot of apartments going a lot of tours and they may be nice, but when you get that feeling like, oh, this is it for me, like this feels like home right here, that's a sign. It's a true sign. So I always kept that in the back of my head. Like, even though I toured it, I'm like, dang, you know, I toured it on my channel, but this is it for me. And I just always kept my eye on it. I always kept it in the back of my head. And another thing that I highly suggest to do is I would check the prices of this apartment every day. Like, it was like a social media type check. Like, I would type in the apartment, check the prices every day to wait and see the price that I wanted to see. I'm gonna say that again because this is the key to finding an affordable apartment, an affordable luxury apartment. That's everything you want. Check them prices every day until you see what you want. Because I'm telling you, the prices change every day. Maybe not every day for every apartment, but when I say they change all the time, they may be high one week, they may be low one week, and you may see what you want, and you have to secure it or act on it at that point, but always stay ready with them prices. Number 1 tip. Let me clear my memory because it's acting crazy. Okay, yes, so literally, like, check the prices every day, or just make it a habit to check it weekly. Like, you're gonna see the prices go super high, you're gonna see them go super low, but never just say, oh, that apartment is too high, I'll never be able to live there. Maybe. At that point, I just started like pulling up to the apartment like all the time, just before I even applied, before I'm even a resident here. I'm pulling up to check the community. Like, where is this apartment at? What does it look like in the like neighborhood? What's around it? All that stuff matters. Mainly for me because I wanted to focus on safety. I wanted a nice, like, inviting, motivating environment. And also just like what stores are around, because late nights you want to get food, you want to get gas, you want to go grocery shopping. It matters about what's around you. It matters how close the grocery store is, okay? Like, it really matters. So you're really gonna want, you know, things accessible to you that's important to you. Maybe it may be a gym, or it may be your job. That was another thing. I wanted my job close. So all of that stuff matters, and you know, it checked off the list. It had all that. It had all that. And a lot of apartments these days, they have, sorry y'all, this is like a real sit down video. I haven't done a sit down video in a long time. Like, I was about to discourage myself from doing it, and I'm like, maybe they don't want to see me do my nails while I do it. Maybe I need to actually sit down and just focus. But the tea is the tea, and it doesn't matter. So the community was cool. Like, even a lot of apartments these days, they have like the grocery stores attached to like the apartment, which is, when I tell you things, if an apartment has that, you need to make sure that you remember that. And that's definitely a perk, because sometimes you don't want to have to run to the grocery store. Sometimes you don't want to have to leave your apartment to even get groceries, you know, hence Instacart and stuff. But a lot of apartments have grocery shops and retail shops literally attached to it at the bottom, or in the same plaza, and things like that was always a perk for me. Like, love it, need that. Like, the price, I found the price that I want. The community has what I want, but we're not done yet, okay? That's not all that matters, you know? When I was doing the tour, I was making sure like the hallways were like very lit for me, because I hate to say it, I'm a little scary, okay? When it's nighttime, I'm coming in, I need to make sure that the hallways are lit. I need to make sure that there's security, there's gated access. Like, all of that matters, especially as a woman in Atlanta. Like, you gotta make sure your apartment has this stuff, because I've toured some apartments and I didn't feel safe just touring them. Like, literally, I didn't feel safe just touring them. So I always make sure that, you know, the hallways are lit, or the hallways just look nice enough to where it's not like hiding cutouts where I'm like creeping around the corner. Like, I don't like that type of stuff. I need to see clear of what's going on when I'm walking through the hallways, okay? They need to be lit. They don't need to be dark. They need to be clean. Maybe have a breezeway in it, or even if it's a closed off building, it needs to be lit. I need to see, okay? So that passed the check. I'm like, cool, I feel safe in the hallways. The building looks clean. I would literally, like, once I saw the apartment that I wanted, the price that I wanted, a lot of apartments show the building and show the apartment number that you are, you know, clicking on, or that you found the good price on, okay? Most of them will have the number of the apartment on the one that you're trying to like secure. You know, you found the good price, it's an apartment that says it's 111, building 1111. You need to go to that apartment and go check out building 11111, okay? That's what I would do. Like, I found the price that I wanted, and I was so anxious, because I had already applied. I was so anxious at that point to, am I out of focus? I was so anxious at that point to figure out what building that was in, like what was around the building, and just like what it was really like looking like and stuff like that. Because once again, I still want to focus on security. Every building in the apartment complex is not the same, okay? I'm going to tell you that again. Every building in the apartment complex is not the same. Don't get fooled. I will turn down an apartment for it being in a certain building as opposed to it being in one of the other buildings in the same complex. Yes, it's very true. And I say this just because some buildings are taken care of differently. And yes, it depends on the residents, but it also depends on the management and the leasing office. You know, how important they take other buildings. My biggest tip, I'm gonna tell y'all this, okay? I don't want everybody trying to do this, because then y'all gonna mess up my chances. The best buildings to live in is the leasing building, okay? If your apartment has a leasing building. most apartments have the leasing buildings, and then they have the outside buildings, and usually the outside buildings don't have elevators, or they are not cleaned up as much as the leasing building or things like that. But luckily with my apartment, we have multiple buildings that are kept nicely, so I didn't have to just choose the leasing building. But remember that I'm telling that for y'all, because I've been touring apartments for a long time, and the leasing buildings always look the same. You need to stay in those, okay? They treat those like gyms. They take care of them, they clean them really nice, and that's not saying every apartment don't, but if you really want to make sure it's gonna look good, the leasing building is the building that you want. And if you don't have that choice, you need to check and like kind of like peep the scene, check the parking lots. Is it trash out in the parking lots in one building more so than other? And of course you're gonna have to go to that apartment a lot more often to actually like analyze that and see that. But that's what I'm giving y'all all the gems, okay? The number ones that I just really feel like you need to stand firm on is that apartment actually luxury? Like, can y'all provide a lot for me with the price that I'm paying? Because we all know apartments are not cheap. Check them amenities out. Check that community out. What the community got for you, okay? See what building has the best for you. What building is the best? What building is well kept, okay? All of that stuff 1,000,000% matter, okay? Check the area out, check the neighbors out, make sure it's what you need, okay? I've given y'all the real tea, and I show y'all the apartments. So now just apply what I'm saying to when you are picking the apartments, and I promise you, you cannot be disappointed if you really take your time and do your research like I'm telling y'all, okay? Y'all can't say I'm not putting y'all on. Like, I put y'all on to the apartments and the apartment tea, because not everybody knows that. And another thing is with new apartments, this is the last gem that I'm gonna give, because oh, y'all don't have to start paying for these or something. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't make y'all pay for like this information. But when it comes to new apartments, you don't have to check the website just about every day, but I still do, because you never know. But new apartments usually have pretty good prices. Like, honestly, they're not going to start off ridiculous. Some of them do, depending on how nice they are. But if they are, then the prices usually stay the same until a year after, until the new leases are up, because they don't want to change the prices constantly if it's a new place. That's just a fact. I don't know why. I think it's just to get residents in and to let residents not be conflicted if the price is changing all the time. And if it's new, they want them to know this is the price, this is what we got. You either gonna secure it or you're not. I've learned that new apartments, the price is usually base the same. So just keep that in mind. But that's all the tips that I have as of now. Of course, if I get more, I will give a part 2. But I just really want y'all to know these things, because I know them myself. Like, I literally have them embedded in my head when I'm touring, and I'm just like, they got this for them, but they don't have that. I want to tell them. But you know, my apartment videos, I'm just filming the apartment. So I hope this gave y'all a lot of context. I hope that y'all really enjoyed it and got some tips from this. I'm about to say tea again. I'm still not doing mine now. I did this hand. I just have to do this hand because I was talking. But I hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching. And stay on the lookout for the next apartment tour, because we are back at it. Drop areas that you want to see or apartments you want to see. And I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye, beautifuls.